Hello, mis mariposas. I'm Simone, content creator, divine embodiment coach, intuitive inspirer, oracle and guide, body liberation activist and advocate, and your guide to inner glow and remembering your soul's truth. And I have a collective message to share with you today. If you feel called to stick around, please do. Also, trust that I work with God, the Most High, Divine Source Creator, and all light beings, and energies of the highest realms and frequencies only for the good of all and to the harm of none. You are safe, you are cherished and loved here, and the divine has a message just for you. So let's get into it. Gratitude, thank you, Spirit. Calling in the collective's energy at this time in alignment with their highest good. Allowing me to see everything that needs to be seen, hear everything that needs to be heard, say everything that needs to be said. The truth and nothing but the truth, wisdom, guidance, and clarity for the collective at this time. Spirit is saying they're showing me a boat, specifically a sailboat. You are setting sail on a new journey right now. You are setting sail on a long journey. And you are traveling further than you've ever traveled before. Stay the course. Don't lose sight of the path that you are going. They're showing me like you having a paper map. Like you don't have GPS, you have a paper map. And so you're doing a lot of your navigation manually, which feels like a burden for you at this time. You're used to things being a bit more clearer. You are used to knowing exactly what you're doing all the time because you are someone who takes pride in being able to figure things out. And that is a beautiful quality to have. But Spirit wants you to be mindful that oftentimes this desire to do things well or to do things right or to plan things out is because of this lack mindset here. We have the Five of Pentacles, which speaks to poverty, often has to do with money as well. And so you may be someone who pinches your pennies a lot, or you are someone who is, when you're spending, you're constantly thinking about what you're losing out on. And instead, Spirit wants you to shift towards an energy of gratitude. Thank you, Spirit. Knowing that you have more than enough, especially as you set sail on this new path here. You may be distracted on this path as well. We have Seven of Cups. And this speaks to illusions or having a lot of options and having to make a choice. And so you may be feeling a bit scatterbrained or all over the place when it comes to, it's almost like you're afraid of reality. It's like you've kind of been in la la land. You've been living in delusion a little bit. And in some cases, Delulu is the Salulu. But also Spirit wants you to get real with yourself so that you are aware of what's happening in your right now reality, especially with you using this map, right? This paper map where you are doing a lot more hands-on work to find your way. It is important for you to stay in the know and in the now, in this reality. What is the message here? Mind, body, and spirit for the collective at this time. I just heard Mars retrograde or Mercury retrograde. I know Mercury retrograde is coming up. And so that may be something, your communication may be off. The way that you think, the way that you perceive things in the world may start to be a bit more jostled in the next coming weeks. But Spirit is saying to hold your ground. Okay? Gratitude to Spirit. What's the message here for the collective mind, body, and spirit? Wow. We got that Seven of Cups out again. And then this Magician card just flew all the way out, y'all. So Spirit is saying when it comes to your mindset, be curious, okay? Be willing to explore. Look at the ways that you can like cleverly analyze this path that you're on as you set sail. Look for creative, new, more exciting possibilities, okay? Open your mind up to something new. You may be closed-minded in a way, or you are clearly someone, especially because you plan, things are often set in stone for you. So Spirit is calling for you to have some wiggle room, especially when it comes to your mindset, okay? More here. Why is the Seven of Cups here in the body position? Thank you, Spirit. One more here. The sun eclipse here in body position. Up or down? Down. There's a fear of making a choice. You've been feeling kind of burnt out. There have been a lot of options. There have been a lot of paths that you could potentially take, but instead of you making a choice in that direction, it's almost like you have, in a way, given up, or you are kind of in this moment or this period of exhaustion. Okay. And it is causing you to not move forward, right? Don't get blocked by the illusion that things are more impossible than they actually are. What it really is a challenge, okay? It's almost like you are using muscles that you haven't worked in a very long time. And so, in you working those muscles, it may feel like it's not possible for you. But Spirit is saying that it is, right? But it takes you turning this upside down chariot energy right side up, which is about grit. It's about focus. It's about direction. It's about travel, right? Spirit already showed me the imagery of you setting sail. And this reverse chariot energy is also about a lack of motivation, a lack of discipline, being a bit narrow-minded, right? Especially with this Page of Swords coming out, Spirit is calling for you to broaden your mind, to broaden your horizons. Don't get distracted by the illusion that things are never going to work out, or that you have reached a dead end and you can't get back up, okay? That is a limited belief. And when it comes to your actions, the way you manifest this energy in your actions could be you kind of being in the freeze mode of fight or flight with an anxiety. You've kind of kept yourself in this bubble, and it's giving you tunnel vision about where you are headed. And so Spirit is calling for you to do things that are more in the direction of expansion. It's about you dedicating to one choice, right? Getting back up. This burnout is temporary. It's truly because you are kind of in this in between space. And that's okay. Just take one step, okay? Remember your why. Remember the direction that Spirit is calling you to go in. Remember that map that you have in your hand, okay? That is your navigation system. And you are learning how to use this navigation system. So be gentle with yourself. And then when it comes to your spirit, the energy that you are being called to cultivate is that of a manifester, right? You already have all of the tools. The magician has every single tool on the table in front of him. He knows he's capable. He knows he's able. So Spirit is calling for you to honor that there are infinite possibilities at your feet. And it's up to you to call in the specificities, right? And that's also another thing. Spirit is calling for you to get specific about your desires and your manifestations, okay? If you have the vision, it's because there's a version of you that's already living it. And so it's about you writing down the vision to a T, right? So that you know exactly what it looks like, so that as it starts to show up in your 3D reality, you're able to check off the boxes like, okay, this is part of the vision and it's happening in real time. And also Spirit is calling you to do this so that you don't get discouraged, okay? It is very easy for you to only look at the 3D reality in the now as a direct reflection of what you've been praying for, right? And the truth of the matter is that the right now reality is your past answered prayers. So if anything, the lesson here is that the mindset that you have now, the energy that you call in, the spirit that you have now, the mindset is laying the groundwork for the future. And so Spirit is saying to stop looking for the concrete instant response to your prayers and your manifestos, right? And the experiences that you are calling in. Give it time to settle. It's about matching the frequency of your desires. And so if you have the desire and you're not matching the frequency and you're waiting for it to come in, in a split second, then it in a way kind of like defeats the purpose, because you end up continuously wanting more, more, and more without appreciating what you already have, and also being aware of what divine gifts have already been placed in your vicinity. So it just takes you opening your eyes to them. Gratitude, thank you, Spirit. As the collective shifts this energy, what do they call in? Ooh, I like it. Interesting. Okay, so as you shift this energy, you call in a rebirth, right? You call in radiance and optimism. After every dark light comes a bright new morning, and that's this energy here with the Sun card. So you cultivate a renewed entire mentality, right? The way that you viewed yourself, the way you've talked about yourself, the way you've perceived yourself completely shifts. And it shifts into a higher frequency. But what that entails is you making sure that your mind is open to the new frequency. Okay. I just heard the word stubborn. You are stubborn in a way. You might have some earth placements, especially with your Mercury. You might have a Mercury earth placement, and that's Taurus, Libra, and Virgo. Also might have a earth moon placement as well. So be mindful of the ways that those energies come up. And then also when it comes to the physical expressions of this shift, you bring about triumph, right? Public recognition, the public praise. You may feel like oftentimes your efforts go unnoticed. You do a lot of internal work on yourself. You do a lot of consistent shifting. You have been doing the work. And what Spirit is saying you call in as you shift this energy is people seeing the difference in you. And that's not to say that their opinion matters and you base everything you do on what other people say, but it more so gives you that like confirmation that not only are you seeing the differences, but your loved ones, your family, your friends, your partner, people in the workplace see a new, elevated, aligned version of you. And we are still human, and sometimes we need that little pick me up of people affirming what we feel for ourselves. External validation isn't inherently bad, but when you use it as a source of confidence or self-worth, that's when it starts to become a slippery slope. So it's okay to desire that external validation, especially when you've put a lot of work and time into your growth. There's nothing wrong with that. And Spirit is essentially saying that you will receive more of that. And then when it comes to your spirit, right, you're being refined. This is about expertise. This is about you putting in the work. We just talked about that. You have been putting in the work, and Spirit is refining and crafting and molding your soul and preparing you, right? There are so many like new steps in our lives that we are being prepared for at any given time, right? Healing and growth and elevation never stops. We continue to change and shift over our lives hundreds of times. And so what this energy provides you is that strength training, and it also makes you more well equipped for the more intense or even more divine encounters and the divine shifts, right? It can be scary when you don't know what you're getting yourself into. But when you've become an expert on transformation and an expert on being refined by Spirit, you can handle any challenge that comes your way with confidence. Because you're like, shoot, I done did this before. I'll do it again. Because remember, pressure builds diamonds, right? You come out gold after you've been in the furnace, you've been under heat, you've been under pressure, under fire from all of these circumstances, right? All of these external obstacles that have come your way, the shadow work, like a lot of that is hard. Most of it, if not all of it, is very hard. And it's not happening in vain. It's happening to mold you. It's happening to keep you at tip-top shape, to keep you as the upper echelon divine being as you are. And it also helps you to fully return to your soul, return back to you in wholeness. Remember, there are pieces and fragments of you scattered across the multiverse from different timelines, from different lives, from different experiences, the dream, the spirit realm, and the human in the 3D. Like literally there are fragments of you all over. And so with you doing this work and continuing to shift this energy, you call those fragments back to you and you are remembered, right? Remembering your soul's plan, remembering your life's purpose, and remembering who the divine has called you to be. Be mindful of limiting beliefs. And up until Mercury retrograde, there might be some thoughts about yourself that come up that you may want to give into. Spirit is saying, do not do that, okay? Remember that your healing, your light is paving the way for your path ahead, okay? It is paving the path ahead. So do not be discouraged. Remember that there is light within you. Have hope and have faith. My ear is ringing so loud out of nowhere. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation, okay? Be mindful of the addictions, right? These cycles or these addictive loops that you get yourself into. And I feel called to say that this is connected to these limiting beliefs. Sometimes it's easier for you to believe the limiting belief than it is for you to believe the positive affirmation. But it's because there are people who have been in your ear talking to you with this same energy. And you started to internalize the things that people said to you, okay? There is a loop. There is an addictive pattern to this. You often indulge in it because, like I said, it's easier, it's simpler for you. Spirit is calling for you to break the chain. Break every chain, break every chain, break every chain. Thank you, Spirit, for that channel. Okay? Also call in your community. You may be making new friends very soon, or you've been desiring friends. You've been desiring like a sacred sister circle. That is definitely on your path as you make these changes, because you start to call in souls that are aligned with your own. Y'all are of the same blueprint. Y'all are from the same soul family. So be open to that. Okay, my love? All right, let's do some Healing Waters Oracle. Gratitude. Thank you, Spirit. I have 3 Healing Waters Oracle messages for the collective here. 3 Healing Waters Oracle messages. May this be clear and concise and in alignment with the collective's highest good. I definitely see the seer card or the prophetess or the priestess card. You definitely have psychic abilities, and Spirit is giving you the green light to start actually using them and not just keeping them as this secret that you hold between you and like your trusted group of people, right? Use your gifts and your abilities for your benefit because God placed them in your life for a reason. We have here, beneath the surface, what's really driving you, true motives breaking free, right? This is why shadow work is so important. When you look at the ways, when you start to analyze the ways that you've been living from motives or with motives that are actually self-depleting, you can then shift them, right? You can make the change. Gratitude, thank you, Spirit. And you can break free. Gratitude. Show me 2 more here, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Gratitude. I love it. Yes. We have the intelligence lies within you, right? Ancient wisdom. You are divinely intelligent. The cosmos lives within your energy. Okay. Once again, use it, tap into it, connect to it. If you're having trouble doing that, maybe try going to Reiki to help clear some of your chakras, which are your energy points. Simple prayer and connection to God and your spirit team can be helpful. Maybe potentially setting up a personal altar for you to connect with the divine. There are many ways that you can start to connect to that ancient wisdom that is in your veins, okay? It's really up to you. Spirit is saying, come out of hiding. Embrace who you truly are, right? You've always known that you have a special something. And that is almost like, okay, I see. There are, it's almost like the map. Remember we talked about the map in the beginning of the reading. There was a map, a paper map that you have as you set sail. Part of the pieces of the map are missing or they're grayed out. So as you do this work, parts of the map start to be revealed. It's kind of like the Marauders map from Harry Potter. And so when you start to reflect on what really motivates you and breaking free from any limitations or what's been underneath the surface and confronting it so that you can let go and release and walk in alignment, more of the map is revealed to you, right? The map has always been there, but it's about your vision becoming clearer. It's about you trusting the divine, having this sacred language between you and God so that you learn to trust yourself and what you hear from God through you, and also the gifts or the messages that Spirit gives you on a regular basis. You become more aware and online to them. And then we have here bounteous relationships. I actually want to read this card. As I mentioned, I'm pulling from the Healing Waters Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. I love her decks. I have a couple of them. Well, I have one other one. I don't know if I'm saying a couple. I have another one. And it's gorgeous. So let's see what this card is. Bounteous, generously given, relationships coming together. When water is present, life is present. It is a gift offered to us and through us. Generously offered, bountifully given. We are beginning to wake up to the precious substance we have in our lives and never take it for granted. This card encourages you to appreciate the gifts, bounty, opportunities, and privileges that are in your life, to embrace what you need, but also be generous to others who might not have what you have, to acknowledge and receive the abundance around you, but also share it, to appreciate these simple things in your life, like running water. Don't hoard what you don't need. Share the plenty that surrounds you and watch as it swells and grows. Move from competition to collaboration. Rewrite the script of me against you. Welcome the wellspring that eternally bubbles up from within. Share what you love freely. So often, life is that much more enjoyable when it's shared with others. Where water is, life thrives. Where water flows, things are much more alive. Don't hoard and stagnate. Welcome mutual exchanges. Share what you've been blessed with, and watch as everything around you and within you becomes more and more alive. I love that. And that to me definitely connects to the Three of Cups energy at the bottom of the deck here, right? So as you pour into yourself, you connect to the divine wellspring and you start to fill up and your energy becomes refreshed and renewed. Then you can pour it out to others from a place of sovereignty and sacredness and wholeness within you, so that you're not depleted, so that you are not giving from an empty cup, pouring from an empty bucket. You are full. You are filled with divine love, and it becomes no problem sharing it with others. And then lastly, we have ride the wave, life lessons and growth. You will get through this. So this creates a beautiful full circle moment back to that sailboat image that Spirit gave me, right? You are on this treacherous sea, and it's a long journey, and the waves will come. And what's the phrase? Smooth seas don't make skilled sailors. And so, though the seas may be rough at this time, Spirit is encouraging you to ride the wave. You will get through this, my love. Continue to stay open to divine assistance, continue to do the work, continue to reflect and evaluate and reprioritize. Continue to release what no longer serves you to make space. Continue to stay curious about life. Be mindful of those limiting beliefs. And remember that you are a master manifester. This is you. You are the magician. So use them skills to the best of your abilities. Use them for good, babes. Oftentimes we manifest negative circumstances because our words are spells. And you can cast a spell over your own life. The magician knows his power. And so Spirit is calling for you to know, learn, and live in yours. Okay, my dear? That is what I have for the collective. Thank you so much for watching this amazing message. I hope it resonated with you, and may it settle into your spirit as your truth, knowing that you can always come back to it at any time. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I release all the collective's energy back to you. Call all of my energy back to me. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope you have the most glorious day wherever you are watching from. Mwah. Bye.